It was really interesting how it played out yesterday. We had Stephen Moore, a good friend of yours I know, come on the programme here at Bloomberg and interview with us, and he said he was really looking forward to going through the nomination process. He was hopeful he would secure it. Then 2 hours later he withdrew. I'm trying to understand what happened in the hours after that interview, Larry. Can you give us a little bit of insight, some colour?
Actually, I was unaware of the interview until later. Steve Moore called me Wednesday evening, I guess it was, and said he wanted to withdraw, that he and his bride just couldn't stomach the personal attacks. And, of course, I'm very sympathetic to that. He had a pretty raw deal, if you ask me. But in any event, he pulled out late Wednesday evening. I spoke to the chairman of the Senate Banking Committee. Later that evening, I spoke to the president early the next morning, and we put out a tweet. Our tweet maybe could have gotten out earlier, but we had that beautiful prayer ceremony that Mr. and Mrs. Trump were leading. But we got that out. So we knew about that. Stephen had made his decision Wednesday night.
Why 24 hours later, less than that, would he come to Bloomberg, Larry, and say that they were all in? The administration was all in, he was all in. Why would he have done that?
Jonathan, I don't know. You'll have to ask Steve. I asked him not to say anything publicly until the president could weigh in. Perhaps he was observing that suggestion, but I don't know, and I don't think it matters.
There's something about this process that is odd to a lot of people. The Republican leadership in the Senate, Larry, didn't seem to be on board with some of these picks over the last couple of months. Do you think the process is going to evolve a little bit, where there would be closer discussion between Senate Republicans and the administration over who the president chooses next to nominate?
Well, look, we always have close conduct. We always have close discussions. The leading senators on the Banking Committee, for example, are, frankly, old friends of mine. We talk all the time. So sometimes nominees come forth, and as you know, Steve Moore was not a formal nominee. His name was announced, but he was in the vetting process, so he was never formally nominated. Things pop up. That's about all I can say. In his case, you know, he's a good guy. He's a great economist, pro-growth economist, dear friend of mine. He took a lot of personal attacks on matters that have no bearing on his views or standing where he have gone to the Federal Reserve Board. So it is what it is. But I will say this about my pal Moore. In terms of the battleground of ideas, he got the story right. I mean, he's been arguing for many years, as we all have, with the right incentives.
Yeah.
You can have strong growth without reigniting inflation. That was his argument. That kind of upends some of the conventional wisdom in certain institutions in this town. But I think Steve won that battle. Over 100 economists endorsed him. Professor Jeremy Siegel of Penn wrote an op-ed in his, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I give him high marks on winning the battleground of ideas.
Are you saying, Larry, you'd be willing to nominate someone unconventional once again? Because in the past you've gone with people like Marvin Goodfriend and Nellie Lang, and they didn't even get a hearing. So would you be able to go with someone of the mould of Stephen Moore, Herman Cain once more? Have another go?
We've been interviewing a bunch of highly qualified candidates, and we will continue that process, and we'll be coming up with some names before too long.
If the president called you into the Oval Office, Larry, and said, Larry, you're the man, would you serve on the Fed?
He's not calling me in. He hasn't asked me to go on the Fed. I am blessed and grateful to have the job I have as director of the NEC. Frankly, it's the best job I ever had, and I love serving under this president. So I just will let's not go there, John.